Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a set of tracks so that you can UV map them straight away. This is a very easy method, but required some sideways thinking at first. So I'm going to show you, I have a texture already pre-made. This is only for my benefit of having already set up the UV layout, kind of. I mean, you can use the same UV layout and then unwrap it to your needs, as you go along. Place the texture in a folder where I can find it, and now I'm going to start the modeling process. Alright, here I have my blueprint set up. You can clearly see the track bending over here. And I'm going to go into the projected view, which is from this side. And I'm going to select a line, spline. And I'm just gonna click some straight lines, following roughly. Actually, I'm gonna follow above the track. I'm gonna make one here, 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 right there, right there, right there. You can notice that it's pretty rough. I'm going to go into vertex editing. That's because I'm going to smooth it out now. So I'm going to select this vertex and I'm going to smooth it. You can see that it doesn't look that good. That's why we can make either a Bezier on both of these. Type corner. Click here. Drag this one out a little to make it a bit round. But now this one is a bit too long, so actually I'm going to change it to Bezier corner so that I can control both these arms separately. So I'm going to do this, and this one I'm just going to drag in. Otherwise I get some vertices that you don't want. Okay, so that side is done. I'm going to do the same here, so I'm going to smooth this side, add a busy corner here, and a busy corner here. Again, make sure you're working in the plane. Just going to drag out these handles so that you get the rough curvature there. Okay, well, that looks nice. It follows the curve now. What I want to do now is I want to add vertices under each wheel. Now I already have one here and one here, so I need 3 more vertices. I'm going to hit refine. I'm just going to add a vertex here, here, and here. Now what I often also like to have some kind of bending in the top track to signify a little bit of gravity working. And that's a nice trick. I mean, you can't see it on this blueprint, but I just like it for looks, I guess. So I'm going to add a vertex here in the middle, one above, in the middle, above, in the middle, above. It's just without them, the model looks a bit blander, and people complain, even though you had it right in the first place. Okay, I'm gonna pick up these vertices, the ones in the middle, and right now they're actually busy. Right, so now that I have these 2 vertices selected, I'm gonna just make sure they're corner vertices, because I don't want to have too many segments created and create too many polygons. Just gonna have a look. Yeah, we have this little dip there, just for a little visual effect. Okay, well, now our spline is complete, and now it's time to make a vertical surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude the track by a little bit. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to convert it to editable poly. Turn on. Oh, and you see that we have a lot of segments created, so I'm going to go back and select the line. I'm going to put on show end results, and I'm going to put down the interpolation to 2. That gives us still a pretty nice surface. Actually, when I convert it to poly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete some of these edges because they're not useful, since those vertices were straight anyway. And I'm going to press backspace on the keyboard so they get erased. I'm going to go to vertex selection mode. Now you can see that I have these extra vertices here and here and some here and 4 more here. That's it. And again I'm going to press backspace so that's clean again. Alright, now I'm going to select this polygon and I'm going to delete it. Select that one, I'm going to delete it as well, because we're going to start UV mapping and we can't really UV map those surfaces. At the same time I'm going to take this whole object and I'm going to make it to size straight away. So I'm going to have loop selection, so border selection. I'm going to select this loop and I'm going to move the track so that the width of the track is okay. Let's check it out from the front, or maybe a little bit more. Looks okay. Okay, and so we can start UV unwrapping. Now, what we're going to see is that it's better to apply the texture straight away. So I'm going to find my texture file. It's a bitmap, and it's in the P drive, and it's called track film. Okay, I'm going to turn on viewport and apply it. It's all black because I think I have DirectX lighting set up. Okay, maybe I can just go flat. Or maybe it's just UV wrapped wrong now. We'll check it later. So I'm gonna apply a UV unwrap modifier. And what I'm gonna do is go to edit. And now I see our edges like so, which is really not what we want. We want it to be a straight line that loops around. So I'm going to just turn on face selection, and turn this face, and I'm going to detach it. And then I'm going to select all the faces, and I'm going to go to mapping, and I'm going to unfold it. I don't want to normalize it, I want it to be straight. And that gave us a straight unwrap, which is not stretched. Already notice we have a hole here. So we're gonna, since that's the bottom ones, we're gonna apply just a planar Z mapping, like so. And then we're going to select this edge, and we'll go to Tools and Stitch Selected. Reduce the scale. Okay. Oh. Open the edit window. Edge selection. I'll select this edge. And we're gonna move it, and we're gonna vertex welded, so I'm going to go to tools and target weld. The vertices 1 and 2. Now you can see that the welding is nice and tight here. But if we take a look, we can find where our final stitch is, and it turns out it's right in front. So it means that most likely at that point the texture will not align with each other. So we want to avoid that. And what we're going to do is we're going to select polygons like so until we have a border somewhere here, which means that that's that border. And I'm going to select these polygons and I'm going to detach them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over on the other side because it's basically a loop. Select this edge, tools, and stitch it. Okay. So now we can see there are stitches here. That means that we won't be able to see any misalignments, which is fine. Turn off the tool. Oh. But you can see it's sideways, and it's really not what we want. So I'm going to select all these faces. We're going to turn on the texture in the UV map window. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it. Where's the corner? The corner is about here. And we can see that the width is not okay. Also notice that even though we can see that this edge aligns perfectly with this side, is actually on this side in the 3D view. So that probably means that we should flip it over. Then you have the gap on this side, like it should be. So our tracks look good height-wise, so we're just going to scale it a little bit, like so. Now, that looks nice. For now, we're done with UV mapping. Okay. What to do next? The next thing we're going to do is create the sides and the bottom. Now the sides is where it gets a little tricky, because it would have been really hard for us to unwrap it very nicely because of its side projection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collapse this back to a poly. I'm going to select these loops and I'm going to cap them both. See, UV mapping is completely gone on these. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to our right view, which will give me the side projection, and I'm going to select these two faces, the ones that are facing me, and I'm going to use the inset tool to drag them in the width of the track. Oh, you see we haven't selected both faces, so now they're selected. I'm just going to do it by eye now, but you get the point. Now the point of this was that because we did the UV mapping already, these vertices will retain the UV maps of these vertices. That means they will already be perfectly aligned. I'm going to turn off the inset tool, turn off this, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these faces that were selected. And the only thing you need to do now is basically select these two loops again and bridge them, and you get your track model. Notice that aside from these two faces, the inside has retained the UV mapping, which is working out really nice for us. Now we're gonna do again, we're gonna apply UV unwrap modifier, go to edit, and since that one's already pretty much done, just gonna select these faces for them. Quickly turn on the redness with F2. Quickly select them all. And I'm going to press D to detach it and hold shift, and I'm going to drag them out like so. Now we can suddenly see why we have these two polygon problems. This happens because this is where we had the stitch, and when we extruded the vertices, this distorted. And in the UV map you can see this triangle, which is exactly what happened. Now you just have to find out which side it's actually dragged out, and most likely it is. Now I'm gonna break this polygon, this vertex. Okay, you can see that that one belongs somewhere there. So again, you want to have these straight lines. And this one is like so. And the second vertex is, again, we need to break to work. Straight lines to diminish warping. Drag out the last one. Straighten it out. Straighten it out. And if you take a look, our insides are fixed. And again, the seam is on the same side. I'm going to select these polygons. I'm going to turn on the texture again and drag in where our inside texture is, and try to put it as close to the bottom one as possible. You see the width is already right. If we take a look, it's good. Okay, so now we have to do the sides. It's the last thing. I'm going to edit our UV. Just going to quickly put it off screen so I can select the relevant faces, because all I want to do is detach them and drag them away. And I'm going to press D to detach and shift drag it up. Detach, shift drag to drag it out. Now what you can notice that it's one single line. So what you might have to do is shift scale it to the side a little. Oh, that didn't help. Okay, I remember now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a vertex selection and I'm going to select the vertices on the whole circumference. And I know it's tedious work, but somebody's got to do it. Okay, you can see I selected one more.
Use it in your journal handout.
Okay, and that's it. And now I'm gonna go here and I'm going to Alt deselect the ones that were connected to the first unwrap we did, so that we only have the ones that are on this strip of polygons, and I'm gonna shift drag it out. Let's say like this, so that we get wide enough. I'm gonna select this one and we're gonna break it. It's actually okay, it's this one that was broken. Shift drag it. That should be okay. Let's turn on this. I'm gonna make it tight so that it's the right size. I'm going to polygon selection and shift move it to its appropriate place on the texture, like so. Okay, we can still see that it's not straight here and that it's too big. I'm gonna shift scale it like so. And so if you take a look, you can see our track links actually matching up with those side links. And of course you could do it on the other side the same way, and you can do the track teeth in the same manner. So you basically, when you were pulling out these edges with the inset command, what you do is you pull out twice. First the thickness of the track, and then the size of the track teeth, which you can then just detach, move away, and you will retain the mapping of the original top track. That's it.